Welcome to the Instant Classic Wrestling Podcast, the only podcast that has always, and I mean always, an instant classic.
And somebody an asshole.
That was very random, but we're gonna ignore what Casey just said there. But tonight we are here to review WWE No Way Out 2004, and we've been reviewing all these No Way Outs on the WWE Network through the month of February. And this I thought the show was very good. The last three main matches were probably the best in my opinion. That's the main stuff to check out on this show. But let's go ahead and get started with this review. So first, we kicked off with a tag team titles match. Well, it was a handicap match. Rikishi and Sky Tuhati versus the Bashmans and Shaniqua. The Bashmans they've been around in the WWE for a very long time. Back in late 2003, and they were there for like around till like early '05, so they've been around for WWE quite a while. Which I don't remember them that much. I mean, I remember them somewhat, but I mean they were an all right team, but they weren't really standouts to me in my opinion. And the whole sex dungeon thing was just weird with Shaniqua, and pretty much Rikishi would pin her, just land on her to beat her in this match. I thought this was weird, but like I said, the winners in the match were Rikishi and Sky Duhati, so they would retain the tag team titles. And I mean, it wasn't a bad match, but it was what it was really. But yeah.
Is it my turn now? I didn't get friggin' blocked this time. Like every time I get ignored and hidden and all that shit. This was just an match. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't anything exciting or that I would, it's not a match that you specifically would remember. I do remember the Bashams and Shaniqua in that kind of, she was sort of their manager at the time. I remember she came from Tough Enough. She was on one of the seasons of Tough Enough. I forgot which season she was on. But, I like this match. I like that it was an intergender match. So, she was in the match too, which was kind of cool. It was just weird, I guess. It's part of it was weird because it was just Rikishi and Scotty Tuhati, which I like that it was a handicap match. It shows that they're the tag team champions. They can overcome whatever. But I feel like it's just weird not seeing Grandmaster Sexay with them. It's just having just two of them is just, I don't know, something about it threw me off. And the Bashams were just kind of one of those teams. They were basically like Blake and Murphy for 2004. Just nothing really, you don't really remember them that much. I mean, unless you were a specific fan of the Bashams, which I really wasn't into them that much. And they weren't really doing anything too spectacular until they teamed them up with Shaniqua. She kind of helped them a little bit, but even with that, they didn't really do too much. They weren't really that memorable, I don't think. But DJ, what do you think?
First off, first off, this was interesting. I was watching this match and I was like, okay, so we got Rikishi and Scotty 2 going up against the Bashams and Orlando Jordan from TNA. Okay, Orlando Jordan. You guys didn't see that? Tell me you guys didn't see that. It was just like Orlando Jordan from TNA. It was just like it. I was confused. This was not an intergender match. This was Orlando Jordan out there, guys. They just called him Shaniqua just to kind of go with the flow. But I thought this I thought this match was it was okay. I agree with Casey on the fact that you know it it was just I don't know. I don't know what to say. Like they were just they were kind of generic for the time, and Orlando Jordan did help him out. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. Orlando Jordan did a great job helping them out. And real quick, I mean I just want y'all to see this resemblance. I do. I want y'all to see this because I see it, and maybe you don't remember Orlando Jordan's TNA run, but I'm gonna show it to you. Look, Shaniqua right here, all right there, Shaniqua. Shouldn't I'm telling you guys, man. I'm telling you, I know what I'm talking about. I know what I talk about. So, but anyway, this match was interesting. I remember Rikishi squishing Orlando Jordan, and it was pretty good. I did like that it was intergender. I thought it was very interesting. Because it's something we wouldn't see today, but I feel like wouldn't be out of the would kind of be out of the realm of possibility today, just because of how they kind of do things in WWE now. But you know,
Okay, then the next match we're going to be talking about is a blindfold match. We had Jamie Noble versus Nydia. Or, I mean, at least Jamie Noble was blindfolded in this match, Nydia wasn't. Because earlier, Nydia, first I want to say Nydia won Tough Enough, which, she was beside, the winner with Maven because Maven won that year. And, then right off the bat, she got paired with Noble, and then for about a year. And then Nydia got blinded from Black Mist from Tajiri, and she was blinded for a while, then got cured. And then when she was blinded, Noble broke up with her, and then they made this match here pretty much at No Way Out, and, made Jamie Noble, made him be blindfolded, and made him be blindfolded, and Noble, he almost would get to second base during this match, but Nydia, he would chase Nydia around the ring, and Nydia just kicking him in the ass a whole bunch of times, but Noble would end up winning this match. So this was an, alright match. This was pretty much a comedy match, short, simple, and to the point, but which was, it was fun to watch, and I enjoyed it for what it was, but yeah.
As WWE put it, the boyfriend versus girlfriend blindfold match. Oh my god, so stupid. I get the idea behind the match. I get, she was blinded for those couple months, and this is kind of her payback. But I honestly think it would have been a better match without him blindfolded, because Nydia was good in the ring, and I think she could have had just a straight up match with him, with Jamie Noble. I just think they should have done it without the blindfolds. It would have been less awkward, because this whole match, I mean, yeah, it was comedy, and it was supposed to be kind of funny, but it was just awkward. It was too awkward for me. I didn't enjoy it the way I would have if it was just a normal match, which, like I said, they could have done. I don't know. I kind of want to go back and just watch more Nydia matches, because I just wanted to see a good match with Nydia, because I haven't seen, and Maven too. I miss seeing matches from them, being the first two winners of Tough Enough. But I mean, I do remember the whole storyline with Jamie Noble and Nydia. I didn't like it at the time, but looking back, I kind of enjoyed it. It was funny, him getting his inheritance, and buying her all this stuff, and buying a brand new trailer. Oh, it had running water. It had running water. Yes, it did. I don't know. At the time, I didn't like it when I was younger, but going back, just for the fun of it, I would like to watch this whole storyline through again. But like I said, I just wish it was a normal one-on-one match. I think it would have been much better, less awkward. But then again, he wouldn't have almost got to second base. I was like, dude, go, just I was rooting for him. I wanted him to just DJ. Before he was so close.
Are you trying to tell me that Jamie Noble never got to second base with that girl? Never? Not once? Not once? This match was it was funny. It was definitely funny. I remember this match. Definitely, I really start to remember in 2004. And even though I didn't watch every pay-per-view from 2004 back when I was a young child because I wasn't paying for this stuff, but you know, in the video package, he was like, they were talking about how he had to wrestle blind, and he was like, I can't wrestle blind. I can't see. And I was like, yeah, that's usually how it works, Jamie Noble. I loved the Jamie Noble character back in the day. I really liked it. When Noble pulled the hood off and then tosses Nitty off the top turnbuckle. It was just funny. It was a funny match. It was one of those entertaining matches. And I know Casey said she was a good wrestler, but I don't remember a lot from Nydia in the ring for some reason. From her time in WWE. For the most I remember her as being kind of a valet to Jamie Noble more than anything. I don't really remember many matches from her.
Yeah, same. I don't really remember much matches from Nydia, but I didn't really think she was very. I don't think she was very good in the ring. I don't know what Casey's doing over there, but forget what he's saying right now for a minute. But next we have Brock Lesnar and Goldberg. They were, they had a brawl during this. Goldberg, he would go right after Lesnar, but Goldberg, got the better of Brock during this, and then this was pretty much this was part of the build up for the WrestleMania match, which the build up was amazing, but the WrestleMania match was shit. It was bad. It was very, very bad. I did not enjoy their build up. I mean, I didn't enjoy their match. I enjoyed the build up. Like I said, I did not enjoy the match. And also, Hardcore Holly would come out and he would try to get some revenge, from what happened, when Brock Lesnar, I think broke the neck of Hardcore Holly. Yeah. And so, but Brock Lesnar ran away, which I go like, now Brock Lesnar doesn't run away from much people, so I don't know why he ran away, but you guys have any thoughts on this little segment here?
You skipped over the world's greatest tag team in the APA.
I did?
Know that
I did skip over that. Okay, yeah. Well, we'll go back and talk about that. But you want to talk about this first since we're on this?
I like this. I actually feel like younger Brock had a lot more charisma and character, more personality than he does now. Just in this segment, in this promo, I felt like he was better on the mic. He felt more, just like I said, had more of a character in the ring, had more charisma. I feel like now he's just so Brock Lesnar, and it's
the beast incarnate.
I want the young Brock Lesnar back. Can we get the young Brock Lesnar back? He could talk on the mic. He was fun. I could take him more seriously. I didn't laugh as much when he actually did talk on the mic. Yeah.
I like this. They don't do a lot of I'll give you a ticket just so you can get into the event and whatnot. They don't do that anymore. But I definitely liked this segment. I agree with Justin. The WrestleMania match was not that good. Not that I actually remember it for some. It's one of those WrestleMania matches I just forgot. I just forget about But the WrestleMania match wasn't that great. But as far as like the build up and everything, just when you think about these two guys, like they're just two dominant forces, kind of clashing, which is kind of what WWE was all about at this time. It seemed like. But yeah, I you know, I, we got to see Rhino and Goldberg in like the same general area at one point. It felt like, at least, and I was like, who's got the better spear? Is it the gore of Rhino, or is it the spear of Goldberg? Because I love Rhino's spear, and it was funny because I actually had a tough time deciding, like, and then I saw Rhino do his spear in the match against Hardcore Holly, and I saw Goldberg do his spear later on, and I was like, well, Goldberg's looked better tonight, but I don't know. But I thought it was a good segment. I liked it.
Yeah, I thought it was a good segment also. And we're going to go to a match I skipped over. I can't believe I skipped over this match. We had the World Greatest Tag Team versus the APA. And I thought this was a good match. I mean, I didn't really know too much like storyline behind this. I don't think there was really much storyline behind this. And, this was back at the time when pay-per-views were, brand split. We had SmackDown and then Raw pay-per-views. And if they had this, this split today, they couldn't even do a pay per view with full like with half a roster. That I just think they just can't even do that today, and I can't even imagine them doing split anymore. But like I said, I thought this
Well,
match
I
was
think
good.
I think Justin, the only way they could is if they did it with NXT and the main roster.
Yeah, it's very true. But yeah, I thought this was a very good match. Very well wrestled match. But the winners of the match were the world's greatest tag team. They won by the super kick. And Casey.
I didn't like it. Didn't like it. Didn't like it at all. Nope. 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 You cannot bring the APA back and still have Bradshaw with blonde hair. It just nope. Couldn't take it seriously. Can't do it. That's why his shoulder got hurt. That's why he got hurt, because he didn't have the dark hair, and it's legitimate. It's a legitimate reason. Don't look at me like that, Justin. Don't you look at me like that, okay, Justin? This is
I didn't,
why we can't
I
have.
didn't know I was looking. I didn't know I was looking at you any sort of way.
Oh, you were. You were looking at me some type of way. Not that some type of way, but the other some type of way. I don't know. I just didn't. There was a storyline behind this, but I just this was kind of when World's Greatest Tag Team was still really big, and they were in the tag team picture, for the titles and everything, and I don't know. I just didn't like the match in general. It wasn't that good of a match, I didn't think.
All right, I don't know. I don't know how to feel, because I love the world's greatest tag team. We didn't see that finisher that I love so much, but I do love the world's greatest tag team. And obviously I love the APA too. This match was. I actually thought it was pretty good. Personally, I don't know. I don't know why. I guess I just like the tag team. So, you just got to put two people in the ring that I like, and I'm fine. I'm fine with it. Um, I love that Bradshaw powerbomb. And I love the finish too of this match where Bradshaw gets called the Cuba kick, gets called with the super kick off of the clothesline from hell. I just liked it. I don't know. I like this match.
Yeah, Sammy, I really like this match also. But the next match we're going to be talking about is Hardcore Holly versus Rhino. And this kind of match, I think it got more time than I expected. It got about 10 minutes, which this was more than the This was like more than the number one contenders match, which we'll talk about that later on in the video. But both guys. I can't even talk right now. Both guys worked very well in the ring together, like which that was no shock. And this was like one of your average SmackDown matches you would pretty much see. But Hardcore Holly will get the win by the Alabama Slam, and you know they paid so much attention to him at the beginning of the year, but towards the end of the year in 2004, he didn't really do much of anything. And I don't really remember what he did at WrestleMania, since this was so long ago. I don't really remember what he did at Mania 24. My mind's going blank what he did at Mania 24. But why did I say Mania 24? Because 2004. I don't know what he did at Mania 20. But like I said, it was a fun match, and it it just got too much time in my opinion. But Casey.
You think he got too much time? Are you gonna tell Rhino and Hardcore Holly that they got too much time? Are you gonna look them in the eye and tell them they got too much time? Are you?
Yes, I will.
Did you see Hardcore Holly and Tough Enough? He made people cry just for fun. Anyway, this was a good match, competitor-wise. Put two guys like this in a match, and it's bound to be good. The hard-hitting styles that they have, the hardcore kind of styles that they have. But I almost wished there was some sort of stipulation, like a hardcore match, or Falls Count Anywhere, or something like that. I just felt like something was missing from this match. And I feel like almost you need a stipulation or something in a pay-per-view. I know we always talk about how sometimes on wrestling shows you just need just a good match that doesn't necessarily have a storyline or anything like that. And that's okay for like a Raw and a SmackDown, but I feel like for pay-per-views you need something that has a stipulation or a storyline behind it, and I feel like this one didn't really have too much of a storyline or stipulation or anything, which kind of I feel like took away a little bit from it. But again, Rhino and Hardcore Holly, put them together, and you're bound to get a decent match at the least. DJ?
Yeah, I I like the aggression of this match. I like Rhino and Hardcore Holly, how they work together as far as being like aggressive and being kind of brawlers. It seems like. But I don't know. I agree with Justin. This match did kind of get it got too much time, and it felt like it like kind of overshadowed a little bit more than it should have. But I like the match though. I'm glad I got to see a gore. Anytime I watch Rhino, I want to see a gore. Like you can't give me a Rhino and not give me a gore. If you do, you've messed up. Okay. And the win by the Alabama Slam, I thought was good. I liked it.
Okay, the next match we're going to be talking about is the Cruiserweight Championship. Rey Mysterio, he was defending the title against Chavo Guerrero. This was a great match. These guys, they had a very long feud in 2004, which I really enjoyed pretty much all their matches. They have a match, of course, here at No Way Out. They have a match at Judgment Day, and then they would have a match at Great American Bash, which all of those matches were good to great in my opinion, and the whole feud is just great. Like I said, and the winner of the match was Chavo Guerrero, which that would put Rey Mysterio on chase mode, for the time being. And this was very, like I said, this was very good, and this got about like 20 minutes in the ring. And like I said, very good match. And at the end, Chavo, I think Chavo Senior would help Chavo Guerrero win the match, and both Eddie Guerrero and Chavo will both win gold on the same night, which I think Chavo or Eddie has said that on some podcasts before, talking about how they both won titles at the same night, which that's pretty cool. And Of course, we had Eddie and Chavo face each other at the Royal Rumble, which they did a great match. And then here, they kind of parallel. They win in championships, which is really cool. And I just thought this was very good. And Chavo Guerrero, I think this was the best run he had. Because like in back in the later years, I don't think he really had a great run. They pretty much he was a joke in the like early '06, '07. Back around those days, like he was just pretty much nothing. But Casey.
Definitely good storyline, good feud. Anytime you had a feud with, Rey Mysterio, Eddie Guerrero, Chavo Guerrero, any of them, in any combination was always good. They all worked so well together in the ring. I think part of that is because obviously Eddie and Chavo are related, and then you have Rey Mysterio, who they've known for so long that you're bound to have good matches with them. So all of their matches were always really good. I like this one. I don't necessarily, it was cool to kind of have, Chavo Sr. there, in Chavo's, corner, kind of building up that heel gimmick that he had going on at the time, and kind of helping him, getting him over as a singles competitor. Because for a while I feel like Chavo was still, at least in WWE, kind of riding Eddie's coattails a little bit. It took him a little bit longer to kind of get over, I feel like, in WWE, especially, but then, you put, Chavo Guerrero Sr., who, the older generation really knew really, really well. He was a legend in Mexico and everything. And then you put him in a match with Rey Mysterio, who everyone loves. It kind of helped put him over a little bit as a heel and just in general for the fans. But this was a good match. Again, I feel like there were some other matches that they had that were better. I don't think this one was the best that they've had. And I think in general, the Eddie Guerrero and Chavo Guerrero feud was a little bit better. I just liked the kind of the animosity they had between each other. But this was a good match.
Yeah, I agree. I like this match. Lord knows, I hate Chavo. Like it's a passion. It's a passionate. Like I almost didn't watch Lucha Underground because I hated Chavo. Casey has something to say real quick because he's blocked. But yes, just to reiterate, I hate Chavo still. It's probably because he rolled me up on a WWE 2K one year for my title.
Okay, just real quick. You hate Chavo. If you were stranded on a deserted island with one of the two people that I'm gonna name, who would you rather be stranded with? Chavo or Michael Tarver?
I'd rather be stranded with Chavo. Chavo's grown on me, actually. Chavo has grown on me. Watching him in Lucha Underground, he's grown on me, and I actually like this little heel run he had. Here I liked it. I kind of liked it a lot more than I did in the moment because I hated Chavo before he rolled me up on WWE 2K a few years back. And I don't know what it was about Chavo. I don't know if I felt like he was riding the coattails of Eddie, and that's what kind of rubbed me the wrong way. But this was a good match, and it was pretty long too. It had its good like false finishes and everything within it. I always thought it was cool, especially going back and watching this match with Mysterio. Like this is like old school Mysterio, like very first WWE title run Mysterio. It felt like, and when he hits those middle ropes, when the opponent hits those middle ropes, man, the crowd gets excited. I think as fans, you even get excited. I think I even got excited watching the pay-per-view. When Chavo hit those middle ropes, I was like, yeah, get him, get him. Plus, I hate Chavo. Anyway, the senton reversal to the half leg Boston half leg Boston. The senton reversal to the half leg Boston crab. Like it a lot. That's one of those kind of, I guess you'd call it a spot in wrestling, or like a reversal move combination in wrestling that I always loved, still love. I love when Samoa Joe does different stuff like that too. In any wrestler when they do that, I'm a fan. But yeah, and of course, to add to my hatred for Chavo, he won with a roll up. He won with a roll up to add to my hatred, but I get it. I'm fine with it. In this scenario, he's the heel, and he had to continue my hatred for him. So good work, Chavo. You did a good job.
Okay, the next match we're going to be talking about is a triple threat number one contenders match for the WWE Championship. We have Kurt Angle versus Big Show versus John Cena. And this is when I actually liked John Cena, back when he was a Dr. Thugonomics, And at this time, Big Show, he was the U.S. champion, and, this would set up Big Show and John Cena for the U.S. title at WrestleMania. So, Kurt Angle won this match. And, Cena gave Big Show an FU in this match, which I think he should have saved that for the granddaddy of them all, WrestleMania. Just in my opinion, I'm just nitpicking that right there. But I think this was a really good match. A lot of finishers from each other, a lot of near falls, which I'm not the biggest fan. I'm not the biggest fan of when do a finisher fest. I'm just not the biggest fan of that at all. But, it worked here at this. But at the end, Kurt Angle would end up winning and becoming the number one contender at Mania. And, this was a very good match. I enjoyed it. And it kind of feels like Kurt Angle and John Cena back then when they were having a feud. It kind of felt like Punk versus Cena, in my opinion. But, Casey, what's your thoughts?
This fool be stealing what I just said on Facebook and saying it before I could say it in a video. Boy. But no, as much as I rant and hate John Cena, I actually liked John Cena back when he was the Doctor of Thugonomics. And I'm not going to say a heel, but almost a heel. This is like the closest we ever got to John Cena actually being a heel. And then WWE screwed it up by making him a Fruity Pebble. But I thought this was a good match. It's kind of iconic now, I guess, seeing John Cena, the Doctor of Thugonomics, give Big Show the FU. I still wish it was called the FU. But PG era, you can't say that. This was just a good match. Obviously, Kurt Angle went on to become number one contender, which made sense back then. He was kind of out of these guys, he was the top guy. He was kind of a lot bigger at the time than John Cena was. John Cena was still relatively, inexperienced, sort of at the time. And Big Show, they weren't going to give him a title run anytime soon. Because I feel like they've never really wanted to give Big Show a title run. They just want him to be the big monster, the giant. But they never really wanted to give him a title run. But, a good triple threat match. Not really much else to say about it that, DJ won't already say.
First off, this is just for both of you Cena haters. Second off, Cena tapped out. This is one of those rare moments where you will see John Cena tap out. Not pass out from the accolade like he did last year. He tapped out. he tapped, and it was a pretty quick tap out, which I was kind of surprised about. But I actually, it was fine considering the knee was the issue, and when Kurt Angle grapevines that leg, you better just die immediately, because it's over. It is over. It is practically over. But yeah, I love this match. I don't know what it is about this match that I love so much, but I just really loved it. I uh I love that Angle just locking the ankle lock on everyone. I love it when that happens. I don't know why. I just do. I just like submissions on everybody. When he angle slammed the Big Show to the outside, I like that. I just like, this was just a good match. It had some times where you thought other people could win. Um, and it was cool to see old school Cena back too. I liked Doctor Thugonomics Cena as well. I liked it, but Justin,
Yeah,
why
same.
why are you looking at me like that? What you got some are you giving up, Justin? If you're giving up, I got you. I got just what you need. Up, give never.
That was upside down, but whatever. The next match we're going to be talking about is the main event, which it was a WWE Championship match. We have Brock Lesnar versus Eddie Guerrero. So earlier in the night, Goldberg got kicked out of the arena, and at this point, people thought that he wouldn't be a factor, but he actually would be a factor during the finish, which he would take out Lesnar and set up Eddie Guerrero for the frog splash. But before that, it was a great match. Very good wrestling based match. These days with Brock Lesnar, we usually get German suplex, clothesline F5. That's pretty much what Brock Lesnar matches are these days. But back then, he was more basically a wrestler, and these guys have really good chemistry together, which is like no surprise. And this felt like a David versus Goliath match here, and the crowd was behind Eddie, because I think they were in San Francisco. Yeah, they were in San Francisco, so that had a big Latino population. So behind this, so Eddie Guerrero, he kept kicking out of everything that Brock was giving him, and then finally Goldberg would come out and help Eddie win the match and become WWE champion. And this was a really big moment. Eddie finally getting his big moment, and it was just really awesome. But Casey, what's your thoughts?
Um, it was a really good match. They gave them a really long time in this match. It felt like this was a really long match. Um, it was really good though. This is one of those iconic matches that I kind of remember. I especially remember Eddie Guerrero finally, winning the title, everything, and you know, again, I just want young Brock Lesnar back. The Brock Lesnar who would have a good match and not just F5, Suplex City, bitch, or not bitch. Sometimes he doesn't say bitch, but usually he says bitch. Suplex City, bitch, and, match is over. And I mean, it was sort of a David versus Goliath match in a way, but I feel like, I really feel like, in a way, Brock was kind of the underdog because, Eddie was so popular at the time. Eddie was so big. Just in general, he had been wrestling for years at that point, in Mexico and WCW and things like that. So it's not like he hadn't had big matches. He just hadn't, been, had the big one, as, people refer to the WWE Championship. But this was just a really good match, and Ryback Goldberg came in, to help him out. I get those two mixed up, really. I do. I get them mixed up all the time. But DJ, did you like Goldberg coming in to save the day?
Yeah, I did. It was interesting. It continued to build up to the WrestleMania match, which is something you don't always see with. I feel like No Way Out slash Fastlane slash whatever it was before then. Extreme Rules. No, am I wrong? I can't remember what it was before then. Doesn't matter. It was some kind of random match name type here. Pay-per-view that happens in February. I guess that's what I'm calling it. But yeah, I like that. I did. I liked it. You never see anyone use a gut wrench as a submission anymore, and I like that Brock used it. I thought that was pretty cool. The spear by Goldberg was epic. I was like, yeah, spear by Goldberg. Ooh! I was hyped. I was hyped, and then the DDT off the title. Yeah, yeah. But I agree with both of you. It is weird watching Brock Lesnar do any move but a German suplex, F5 or Kimura lock. It is really weird. I'm watching him like, is this the same guy? And even take like a head scissors is weird to me. Like, I'm like, can he do that anymore? Is that something he can actually do? Because it's just weird to me. You don't see him do anything. And come on, Lesnar, you can't be saying these things. Lesnar says, and I quote, "Come on, Eddie, just die." No, Brock, come on, man. Now, don't get me wrong, he didn't know, but it made me sad. It made me sad to go think in the future and be like, oh, that's messed up. I miss Eddie though, man. Like every time I see him on any of these old pay-per-views, I just miss him so much, man.
What we need to see from Brock Lesnar is, that moonsault he used to do.
Shooting star press.
Shooting star press, yeah.
Where
yeah.
he almost broke. It's funny. He was facing Kurt Angle. He almost broke his freaking neck.
Yeah, but he used to do that, and I don't think he can do it anymore. I challenge you, Brock Lesnar. Do it again.
Nothing. I had nothing to say. Nothing. No. I think ever since he almost broke his neck, I think that's when they banned the move.
They be banning every move.
Okay, so if you guys had to recommend a match, what would it be? My match will be the Cruiserweight Championship between Rey Mysterio and Eddie Guerrero. I mean, not Eddie Guerrero, Chavo Guerrero. Casey?
Man. I guess the triple threat #1 contenders match. I guess, yeah.
Jamie Noble versus Nydia! Yeah, that was the match of the night, fellas. Match of the night. We almost saw second base, and we got to see Nydia and Jamie Noble in those ridiculous jean shorts. But I would actually go with Brock Lesnar versus Eddie Guerrero. I thought it was a good match. I love the ending. The ending was exciting. The crowd was like all in it, which I wish the crowds would be like that now instead of being like, what's happening? So I don't know. It was good. It was good though. Go watch it. Jamie Noble versus Nydia.
That was rude. That was really.
I didn't mean to that, but yeah, that was the end of our No Way Out 2004 review, and I thank everybody for coming to watch this review. WWE TNA 1152 for checking this out, and ASH Rules. Shout out to you guys. I'm over there. And this Sunday we'll be doing our Fastlane review, so stay tuned for that. And also, we will be doing our No Way Out 2005 review on Thursday, so stay tuned for that. And there's actually something I want to bring up about Wade Barrett. So, he said that he's going to be quitting WWE in June. What's your thoughts about this, Casey?
I I mean, good for him because they're not doing anything with him. So he's still, he can still wrestle. So, not saying that he's old, but I mean, they just weren't doing anything with him. So I saw a bunch of different posts on Facebook, wondering what he's gonna do, where he's gonna go. There was one that I think DJ commented on whether he was going to go to TNA, Ring of Honor, Global Force, or New Japan. I can't see him going to really Global Force or Ring of Honor, and I don't think he would do really well over in Japan. But I could see them doing something with him on TNA. I could see him working out on TNA. A lot of guys who, either WWE stopped using them or never really used them well have gone to TNA and done really well. EC3 is a perfect example. They weren't doing anything with him in WWE. He went over to TNA and he's been, one of their top stars since. So I think they could have, I think Wade Barrett could go over to TNA and do some really good things over there. DJ.
Oh my God, Jason is on my screen. I'm in love. No, Wade Barrett. Wade Barrett, I am so happy that he's asking for his release. And not that I don't want him to have a job, not that I want him to provide for his woman and his family and his children that he probably don't have yet. I just want him to be happy. And if he's not happy, then I'm not happy. Because I like Wade Barrett. I've liked Wade Barrett since that first episode, that first season of NXT. I was really excited about Wade Barrett. I picked Daniel Bryan. I really wanted Daniel Bryan to win that season, but then when Wade Barrett won, I was fine with it because I like him too. Yeah, I agree. And God forbid he go to TNA because let's just give something else for wrestling fans to scream about that he went to TNA. But I mean, it's not like they wouldn't use him, and it's not like they wouldn't do a good job with him, considering they have a huge fan base in the UK. It wouldn't hurt anything. A match between him and Drew Galloway would be amazing and should happen. So they should do it. I hope they pick him up. I know, obviously, I think there would still be a 90-day clause thing, but I still think it wouldn't hurt. I could see him going to Ring of Honor too, more than I would see him going to Japan, or more than I would see him going to GFW. I think because it's kind of one of those things too. Once you get a taste of like the big stage, you don't really want to let that go. You wouldn't like a football player might go to the CFL, because they didn't get a good chance in the NFL.
Which I'm kind of happy, Wade Barrett's asking for his release, Ever since, the Nexus and the Core, I was a really big fan of him. And I thought in 2013, that's when he got his, elbow injury, or dislocated his elbow, I think, before Mania. And then I thought around Money in the Bank time they would, have him win the Money in the Bank, because they were kind of giving him a big push, and he got injured again. And they really haven't done much with him. And I really enjoyed his Bad News Bear gimmick, coming out every Monday, or coming out during every SmackDown and saying, I got some bad news for you. I really enjoyed that. And, he's just been getting injured recently, and they haven't really been doing much with him, which is really unfortunate. And there's another topic I want to talk about. I heard that John Cena might be coming back this Monday on Raw because, coming back before Mania, so maybe Undertaker versus John Cena at WrestleMania. And let's go ahead and get started with DJ. What do you think if that would happen?
I'm actually, it's a good thing for WWE. As much as people are like, oh God, it's Cena now, let me go hide in the corner. As much as people want to cry about it, it's a good thing. They've got a lot of injuries. If he's able to come back, I don't know how he does the things he does. But if he's able to come back, then that's still a good thing. And especially, he hasn't faced Undertaker in a while at WrestleMania. I think he faced him before. I can't remember off the top of my head.
He never faced him at a WrestleMania, but he faced him back in 2003.
Okay, yeah. So it hasn't ever faced him at WrestleMania, and who else is left? Um, who else is left? I don't feel like Cena would win this match either, just because it would be Taker's last WrestleMania. He would only win if and only if this was an actual retirement match for Undertaker. But I don't think they would have Undertaker lose twice at WrestleMania. I just don't see it.
And among that, they're going to be giving away this, like, presenting this award, so it looks like they could be giving it to Cena, and maybe
No,
like
they're
this.
giving it to me actually. I'm gonna be there. Don't worry.
You're gonna be there. I don't even know where Raw is gonna be at, but it's beyond
I
the
could tell
point.
you, but I want it to be a secret.
You could tell me, but you want to be secret. So you're just gonna get on your plane and you're gonna be heading straight to wherever Raw's gonna be, and you're gonna be accepting that award. And then Undertaker's gonna do his lights trick, and he's gonna tombstone you. Is that gonna
Yep,
be?
and then we're gonna have a match at WrestleMania, and I'm gonna be the 2 in 22, I think.
Jonathan Felix Anthony Cena. Listen to me right now. Listen to me right now. Do not come back. Not because I don't want to see you back, but you're injured. Okay, the minimum was 6 weeks that you were gonna be out. 6 to 8 weeks minimum. It's not good, man. Look what happened with Daniel. Do you want that to happen to you? Do you want to have to retire? Do you
I know
want?
Casey wants that.
Shut up. Do you want to have to? I'm thinking about your well-being, your family that you're never gonna have because you're a douche and you won't give Nikki kids that she wants. And I know there's a ton of guys that would give that girl kids. I wouldn't because she's annoying as hell. But just don't come back right now. Don't do it. Don't do it. They can find. What they can do is they can turn Reigns or Rollins or Reigns or Ambrose heel. Have them face Taker, and then you can do it next year. You can do it next year. You don't need to come back. You don't need to do it. Plus, if I hear your music, I might punch a baby. I might do it. I might do it.
That's not very good to punch a baby.
I know. That's why he needs to not come back.
But yeah,
Ever.
that was pretty much news I had to tell. But yeah, don't forget to subscribe to the Instant Classic Wrestling Podcast, which the link will be down below after this video. And don't forget to follow us on Twitter. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter at the TrueJSB and subscribe to Juggernaut097. Just one little subscribe, that's all it takes. And we're gonna let Casey end this the way he always ends it.
Those last two things you don't need to do. You don't need to follow the TrueJSB or subscribe to Juggernaut, whatever the hell it is. You don't need to do that. All you need to do is follow the Instant Classic Wrestling Podcast, the only podcast that is always an Instant Classic, and subscribe to the Instant Classic Wrestling Podcast, the only podcast that is always an Instant Classic. And we will see you on the flippity dippity. And not John Cena on the flippity dippy because he needs to be out longer because he's injured and he shouldn't come back. Oh, yeah.